I am Cocoy,
I am Zahra Qureshi,
and we are your philosophers who are going to talk about David Hume's philosophy. David Hume was born on May 7, 1711, and died on August 25, 1776. He was known for his philosophical empiricism and skepticism. He is regarded as one of the most important figures in the history of Western philosophy and the Scottish Enlightenment. Hume is often grouped with John Locke, George Berkeley, and a handful of others as a British empiricist. He entered Edinburgh University when he was about 12 years old and left it at 14 or 15. Pressed a little later to study law, he found it distasteful and instead read voraciously in the wider sphere of letters. Because of the intensity and excitement of his intellectual discovery, he had a nervous breakdown in 1729, from which it took him a few years to recover. Hume reworked his ideas into the inquiry concerning human understanding and the inquiry concerning the principles of morals. He called these two works incomparably the best of all his writings. Between 1740 and his death in 1776, Hume worked on and published essays on moral, political, and literary matters. Can we really rely on our senses? The Scottish philo David Hume focused on this problem in his book An Inquiry into Human Understanding. Hume was well known for his skepticism and his empiricism, meaning that the view that all knowledge is derived from what we perceive via our five senses rather than through reasoning and theoretical speculation. For Hume, our minds can only operate in four ways: compounding, transposing, augmenting, or diminishing materials received from the senses.
He believed that the only true statements we can make about reality are empirical, because they are directly based on perceptions. And he argued that we should be skeptical of general theories, since they are produced by customs of mind, meaning habits of thoughts rather than direct observations. We have no guarantee, after all, that the world will continue to behave the way it has done in the past.
We can get a better grasp of Hume's perspective on human understanding by looking at the child playing with modeling clay. Hume wrote that every thought we have consists of compounds of ideas, each directly derived from sense perceptions.
It's like a child sticking a piece of clay together. One is shaped like a piece of cheese, two others like slices of bread. Together, they form something that our senses tell us looks like a sandwich.
Hume would add that any compound ideas we have about it, that's a big sandwich. That clay sandwich doesn't look good to eat, are also derived from sense perceptions.
The human mind, Hume believed, can transpose one complex idea onto another, generating a new idea just as one piece of clay can be exchanged for another. For example, removing an narwhal's tusk and putting it onto a horse, making the idea of a unicorn.
According to Hume, the idea of God as a wise and powerful being is in fact nothing other than the augmentation of certain qualities of our own minds, joined together into one new idea. Our minds, he thought, have nothing else from which to form an idea of God, just as our own child has nothing but clay to model with.
So although the human mind can mold all sorts of fantastical ideas, Hume states that ultimately we are heavily restricted in what facts we can think, because these ideas must be based on direct sense impressions.
Most importantly though, Hume taught us that complex ideas should be viewed with skepticism because while we can explain their formation, we cannot prove their reality. And that's it for David Hume's philosophy.